tracks today.
Yeah. I need them bands, run it up fast, stuffing them shits in the safe. Got me a spot out the way, nigga just tryna be safe. Leaving the house with the glizzy, nigga.
Let's get to the sports talk with Chris Paul. I feel like only reason ain't work with Chris Paul and James Harden because you had two ball handlers on the team. Chris Paul normally had the basketball in his hands, but majority, James Harden always had it through the shot clock, and that just brought up an argument. Like that's like that wasn't gonna work. And I feel like D'Antoni, man, like I feel like if Houston don't do nothing this year, I feel like they need to go get a new coach because I feel like you need a new coach, man. Like I just want to see how that Harden and Westbrook gonna work.
How long it would take OKC to flip the 9-time All-Star? But shockingly, suitors did not come running for a 34-year-old point guard who still has 3 years and $124 million left on his contract, with a recent report saying the Thunder are not in a rush to trade him. Chris, how much does CP3 have left in the tank?
Well, I know last year he had career lows in points and field goal percentage. He's always been pretty efficient, shot 42% last year. But I chalk a lot of that up to the system and the fit. Now, I think the first year he was there, it worked because he was just all in. I'll do whatever it takes to try to win a championship. After they didn't win it, I think this year, the tensions mounted with him and Harden. He got more and more frustrated with the way they were playing, and I think that has something to do with his decline. But I think his game is still there. Not quite what it was, but I still think he can be very effective. He's in his 15th year. Steve Nash led the league in assists his 15th year. John Stockton was still fairly effective. I think he can be effective. The problem with Chris is two things. One, the contract and his injuries. Like, injuries are just a part of his existence now.
Yeah, that's the only thing. That's why I think people is not going to jump to it. They feel like he older and he got injury prone. They want to know, can he stay on the floor for majority of the season? And I just feel like because he's older and they don't want to take on that contract for real. That's why I want to take on that contract. He's still a star to me. He's still a superstar to me. He's still a solid guard, good floor general. It's just his injuries. That's the only thing that's probably holding him back for teams that come get him. I don't know, he might end up playing at OKC.
The last 3 years, he's missed over 20 games because of injuries. And by the time the playoffs get here, he tends to be worn down. And so that's the biggest problem with him. But I do think he has a lot of game left and could help a contender. The thing is this. As long as he's in OKC, it really doesn't matter how much game he has left because they're all in on Shai Gilgeous-Alexander as their point guard, and they should be. Mm-hmm. He's a great young point guard. You have to see what he can do. Is he the guy you want to build around in the future at that position? So Chris, as long as he's in OKC, it's almost like he's going to be kind of off the ball some there too if he's playing, or more in a mentoring role for, say, Gilgeous-Alexander.
With respect, I totally disagree with you on the fit part of it. Because listen, Chris Paul, to me, there's 2 eras of him with the Rockets. Everything up until the end of Game 5 of the Western Conference Finals and of this first year and everything since then. 'Cause that first year there, his numbers were almost identical to what he put up the last year with the Clippers. His points per game, his field goal percentage, his three-point percentage, his rebounds, assists, they were all very similar. And then last year, it was the injuries. It was his field goal percentage drops from a career.
It could work if they would have changed how they play. That's the only thing. When you got ball handlers on the same team, it's like they can't play off the ball as much. That was Harden team. So of course he's gonna have a basketball in his hands. But Chris Paul probably ain't like it after a while. Like, I need the basketball in my hands as well. And that's why I think it bumped heads. Cause they both need the basketball in the hand to do what they do. Like create for themselves and everything. And I feel like it was bound to happen.
Around high 40s, 46, 47, down to 42. His three-point percentage drops from being in the high 30s to 36%, 35.5% last year. All those numbers fell because, to me, he was even visually in a different place in his career. Defensively, he was not as dynamic as he had been. He was one of the best on-ball point guard defenders we had in this league for a long time, even though he's so small. So I still think he's an effective player, by the way. If there was no salary cap, if money didn't matter, you would absolutely want Chris Paul on your team, potentially. But the one thing that I think you also left out is there was a third thing that's hurt him, and that's his style of leadership. There's a quote, I forget who reported it, so I apologize, but that early on in this season, he and Harden got in.
I feel like he's still a solid guard. He a good floor general. Good leader, you know, but he needs a basketball in his hand. And I feel like, you know, he could lead a team. Like he could be part of a contending team, you know, as a floor general, because he distributed the basketball a lot more.
Something somewhat meaningless. And Harden looked to him and said, man, it's always something with you. And that it was about the set they were running. And that is a trend for Chris throughout his great future Hall of Fame career, is he grates on people. And I would imagine you grate on people even more when you're no longer the best guy on the team, when you might not be the second best guy on the team. So that's where the fit's going to be tough for Chris, because do you want him to mentor? Do you trust him to mentor young players? How will he be the first year, since his rookie season, where he's on a team that doesn't have championship aspirations? Like, these are real questions no matter where he ends up.
So, do you think this is the beginning of the end of his career, or do you think he's just had two sort of tumultuous years chemistry-wise in Houston?
No, it is. You can see the writing on the wall. And when you watch NBA players and you watch their skills deteriorate, none go faster than smaller point guards. It's just the way it is. My good friend Isaiah Thomas, he talks about all that.
Yeah. But him being a smaller guard, it's like his game going down a lot more. It's like Father Time catching up with him quicker. Like, he still can play, but I feel like it ain't the same how it used to be, because it's catching up with him. But him being a smaller guard, everything, and you can see it, he declining a little bit. Like, and the injuries don't make it no better at his age.
It's hard to age in the NBA as an undersized guy. He's had a great career, but this is not surprising. Nick talked about this a couple years ago. When that disappointment in game number 5, when he got hurt, and then they had that wink-wink agreement that they were going to give him that max deal, Nick was saying then, hey man, it's going to be ugly at the end. We just didn't think the end was going to be the beginning. Yeah, but what got him out of Houston was their pursuit of a championship, but he spoke a lot of truth on his way out. Now, Nick talked about him and his leadership. Harden, sure. Is he a great leader? Let's not get too carried away with that one.
Totally fair.
The coach there, the owner, hadn't necessarily helped the situation. He's not a seasoned veteran as far as that's concerned. But we knew this was going to get ugly for Chris Paul. When he decided...
Hey, once they argued with James Harden, like, you know they was going to ship you out, because Houston is his team. He's the face of that franchise, and they going to do what make Harden happy. About him arguing with him, of course they were looking to trade him. They ain't gonna tell him that. They gonna tell people like, nah, everything's cool. No, like, once he argued with the franchise, they gotta get him out of there. They feel like he gonna be toxic towards their franchise player.
To go there, if they didn't win a championship, if they didn't get beyond Golden State, they were going to be, at least you could say, well, wow, he brought us a championship, so we don't mind paying him. But this is the life in the NBA of a great point guard at the end of their career. What do we expect him to go out? Like, how is he supposed to continue to be athletically dominant as an undersized point guard, man. He shut down people for years. One of the top leaders in steals around the league. This is the way they age right before our eyes.
Yeah, no question about it. And when you look at who might want him, like Miami, that was the talk. They're not going at him that aggressively.
No.
Because even if you get him, what are they? A middle of the road Eastern Conference playoff?
They didn't want to pay Dwayne Wade. And his jersey gonna be in the rafters.
Right.
They had that little dispute. Dwayne had to go away. They brought him back, but not the kind of money they paying Chris Paul. So if they didn't want to pay Dwayne Wade, why would they give Chris Paul that type of money?
I do think, though, last year, I think Chris Paul's morale dropped. And I do think that has something to do with his poor play. Again, I'm with you guys that he's clearly on the decline. But I think the first...
Yeah, he's on the decline. And some people is not going to want to take on that contract he had. They feel like that's too much money to give to a point guard that's not the same player. And I feel like they don't want to do that. That's why they not really coming after him as much as he thinks.
Year he was just excited, hyped to be there, hyped to have a chance to win a championship in a different environment. Last year, I think his morale sank because of the situation with Harden.
And I think one of the reasons I'm higher on the Rockets' acquisition of Russ Westbrook than maybe the other people at the table is because I feel like the market for Chris Paul is going to prove to be minimal to non-existent. I think OKC is going to have to end up attaching picks to him to get someone to take him. And so when you look at where the Rockets were,
I don't think there'd be a great market for Russell if he was if he could be traded. I don't think there'd be a great market. Not to Chris Paul.
no, I understand what you're
But I
saying.
think we would be shocked too, because he's got a bunch of injuries, that wear and tear on his body.
He's got a similar contract situation. I understand that. But the point that I'm making is I think you're going to see across the league that Chris Paul, unfortunately, even though if his play doesn't say it should be, is looked at as a negative asset. Like his level of play, when you combine it with the contract, that you're going to have to include things to get someone to take him away. The Rockets obviously did include picks, but what they got back was a top 20 player in the league. The fit we'll see about, but I think Chris will start on OKC, and then maybe Minnesota. Maybe they try to give Karl Anthony.
Man, it's just injuries, man. When teams see you get injured so much, they really scared to bring you in. They don't know if you're going to be playing the whole year. They going to think you'll be sitting out most of the year. And just like injuries play in to how you get to a team. Teams want to know if you're going to be healthy for that year.
Towns, a point guard for the first time in his career. Either way, there's no obvious fit for him.
Gotta take a break.
Yeah, I feel like Minnesota going to take a chance at it. A floor general with Wiggins and Towns will help them out a lot more.
You need some hot water.